everybody. Welcome back to the Bible Difficulties and Answers podcast. I'm your host, Lance Smith, still untangling life's big theistic questions. We're in week 3 of our 20-week Sunday series, diving into J. Steve Miller's Faith That's Not Blind. If you haven't snagged the book yet, it's on Amazon, cheap as a thrift store treasure and sharp as a tack. Grab it to follow along. We'll nudge you weekly to wrestle with the evidence. Show notes have the Amazon link and more juicy details. Last week, we explored deathbed experiences, those vivid glimpses that feel like peeking through a cosmic keyhole. Today, we're tackling contemporary miracles in answered prayers, stories of God's hand moving now, like a surprise plot twist in an Amazon Prime binge. These aren't dusty tales from ancient scrolls. They're happening in backyards and hospitals, like a divine text message breaking through the static. Let's jump in with a story that'll stick to your ribs. Picture Ernest Hemingway, the grizzled writer who had fist-fight a bear and win, then probably write a novella about it. The guy wasn't singing hymns on Sundays, more like chugging whiskey and chasing bullfights. But when he married Pauline, he hit a wall, a very personal, bedroom-related wall. Nothing worked, not even after consulting multiple doctors. Pauline, a devout Catholic, suggested prayer. Ernest, not the churchy type, shrugged and gave it a shot at a nearby chapel. What happened next? They were back to inventing love like it was opening night. Hemingway, no intellectual lightweight, weighed the options. Psychosomatic fix? Lucky timing? Nah. He concluded God answered his prayer, per Faith That's Not Blind, page 29. It's like a spark in a dry forest, blazing bright. Ever had a moment where the timing felt too perfect to be chance? Now, let's pivot to John Wimber, a rock and roll musician turned Christian powerhouse. In the 1960s, Wimber was playing keyboards for the Righteous Brothers, living the high life, think less church pew and more backstage pass. His marriage was crumbling, and he was far from faith. One night, he prayed a raw, desperate prayer for God to save his life. Boom! His marriage turned around, and he felt a pull he couldn't ignore. Wimber became a practicing Christian, later founding the Vineyard movement, where he saw healings like blind eyes opening and cancers vanishing, backed by testimonies from Cameroon to Congo. His story from Morning Star Ministries shows a skeptic turned believer through answered prayer, like a transistor radio tuning into a clear signal. Wimber's grit, praying for 1,000 healings before seeing one, makes his conversion a neon sign of God's work. Let's keep the revival fires burning with Jonathan Goforth, a Canadian farm boy turned missionary who took China by storm. In 1888, Goforth landed in North Henan, where locals threw rocks at foreigners just for looking different. He was terrible at learning Chinese. His tongue tripped over words like a plow stuck in mud. Ready to quit, he cried out to God for a miracle of tongues. At that moment, a prayer meeting back in Canada was lifting him up, and boom, words flowed like a rusty engine roaring to life. Goforth preached to thousands, sparking the Manchurian revival of 1908 with 13,000 converts, per Jonathan Goforth, an open door in China. That answered prayer wasn't just a language fix, it was a divine kickstart, like flipping a switch on a dark stage. Got a story of prayer answered just in time? Share it. You might say, Lance, those are just coincidences dressed up in holy robes. Fair point. But J. Steve Miller argues that miracles aren't rare. A 2008 Pew survey says 34% of Americans, about 300 million folks, claim they've seen or experienced a miracle. That's 1 in 3, like every third person at a barbecue swearing they saw the potato salad levitate. Miller suggests asking trusted friends or family. A holiday gathering of 12 should yield 4 miracle stories, minus Uncle Harry's Bigfoot yarn. Miller tried this with a family friend, skeptical as a cat near water. She had kidney stones, confirmed by ultrasound with a surgery set for Tuesday. After a church prayer, no placebo vibes since her church didn't hype miracles, the pain vanished. Tuesday's scan, stones were gone. The timing screams divine intervention, like a quarterback nailing a Hail Mary pass. Let's zoom out. Dr. Craig Keener's 2-volume Miracles, over 1,000 pages of scholarly grit, documents cases with doctor's notes, like a woman with terminal cancer whose next scan showed nothing after prayer. Keener's work, pages 83 to 208, tackles philosopher David Hume's skepticism. In China, 90% of new believers cite healings, per Miller on page 33. That's a pattern, like the same constellation in different skies. Skeptics might cry, "God of the gaps," claiming we're slapping a divine sticker on unexplained events. Or they'll say, if God heals, why no regrown limbs? Oh, they love that line, like it's the ultimate checkmate they whipped out at a cosmic debate club. It's classic cherry-picking move, what Miller might call a selective standard fallacy. They're demanding God deliver a cosmic PowerPoint with regrown limbs as slide 1, while ignoring healings like cancer's vanishing or Goforth's language breakthrough. It's like saying, sure, you fixed my car's engine, but where's the new paint job? The absence of limb regrowth doesn't negate other miracles. Keener's got stacks of medical records. Why no regrown limbs? Maybe God's not here for the fireworks show, or those cases slip under the radar. Keener notes African testimonies of wild healings. They're tough to verify. Demanding one miracle type is like rejecting a buffet because it lacks your grandma's meatloaf. The evidence, 34% of Americans, 90% of Chinese converts, stands tall, like a billboard you can't miss. Now, let's talk emotional impact. Miller on page 30 says miracles hit personally. A college student told him she didn't need Christian apologetics. She had seen too many miracles. It's like tasting a dish so good you don't need the recipe. Our friend group at church shared a prayer answered so precisely it felt like God sent a text receipt. Stories abound, like a hospice nurse told of an instance about a guy with heart failure, bedridden, who prayed with his family. Next day, he's grilling his famous jalapeno burgers like he's tailgating at the Super Bowl. His doctor muttered, "Spontaneous recovery." Spontaneous, my foot. It's like a car engine fixing itself mid-breakdown. Got a tell? Email BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers@gmail.com. I'm all ears. Hume's Of Miracles argues miracles defy reason, but Keener and C.S. Lewis's miracles dismantle that. Miller, on page 34, recommends John Ehrman's Hume's Abject Failure. He lists Remarkable Recovery by Hirschberg and Barash, or George Mueller's Diary, a ledger of divine deposits. These stories got me thinking about Scripture. Romans 15:19 in the New Living Translation says, "I have won them over by the miracles done through me as signs from God." Are these modern signs? They're worth chasing, like a cold case that keeps you up. Next Sunday, episode 4 dives into special knowledge through spiritual encounters, moments where people know things they shouldn't, like a divine Post-it note stuck to their brain. Don't miss it. Grab Faith That's Not Blind and check show notes for Keener's Miracles, Pew Survey, or Miller's references. They're as solid as a carpenter's level, unlike my wobbly shelves. Thanks for joining episode 3 of Faith That's Not Blind series. Got a story or question? Hit me up at BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers@gmail.com or comment on our Facebook page. I read everyone. Share this with a friend who loves a mystery, or drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, or wherever you listen. It helps spread the word. All episodes are at BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers.podbean.com. Perfect for a deep dive. I'm Lance Smith, wishing you good luck, good health, and God bless. So long, everybody.